The last final of the season will be on this court, and it will be between London and Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. It's go time.
Backdoor cut from Dudleyans for the throwdown. Liggins for three, knocks it down! Oh my goodness, what a big shot!
Got the mind of a champion.
London have done the almost impossible.
Got the mind of a champion. Get it 'cause I got it good. Did it 'cause I said I would.
Maxwell down the lane and jams it in! Fletcher for three. Oh, he's unbelievable! The most successful team in BBL history through to their playoff final.
The WBBL playoff champs have been crowned. Now the stars of the BBL go head-to-head to land the final piece of silverware this season. It's part 2 of today's Lions-Eagles doubleheader, and it's the cup holders versus the trophy winners. Good to have you with us. 2 BBL heavyweights going at it once again, and 2 BBL legends alongside me to get you set for the big game. And bro, we love playoff finals. This one in particular must have you very excited because these are 2 explosive teams.
Both teams have won some silverware already this year. They're all better to leave it out there on the final stage now. BBL playoff finals. Who's the favourite? Nah, I don't know.
That is a question we're going to try and work out in the next 30 minutes. If you like fast-paced, high-scoring offense, then you're in the right place, right, Kieran?
No, this is the one. You know, the 2 teams are up there for the highest-scoring teams in the league. Very entertaining basketball to come ahead.
All right, well, they entertain. Now, they also know how to win. Both of these teams, of course, have landed silverware already this season. Here's Newcastle taking the BBL Cup right here on this very court in Leicester. And, of course, against London. But, Kieran, it was a very different Lions roster to the one we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, it was a depleted London team, you know, and I've listened to a lot of the interviews talking about how hurt they were to watch their team from home for many of them because of the pandemic. And it just hurt, and I think that's the motivation and the edge that they'll have tonight. They believe that they should have won that cup, and if they had a full squad, they would have done just that.
They were short-stacked, Dan, on that night, but they kept it close, didn't they?
They did. It was a great performance from it. But I think the motivation will come in for the Newcastle Eagles as well. They won the cup, but there's an asterisk by that. Did they beat the London Lions at their best? No, they didn't. So it's a motivation for the Newcastle Eagles as well to prove to everyone that they can beat London Lions best.
It didn't take long for the Lions to land some silverware of their own, though, of course. The trophy final victory against a very competitive Raiders side. And was this the catalyst for the brilliant run they've been on since?
I think so. You know, high expectation going into this season. You know, a lot of talk about big budgets and the superstar roster that they have. They hadn't won anything up to this point, and winning that trophy then cements their championship status.
They've been in brilliant form. They won 14 of the last 15 in all competitions, but of course things have been a lot more even against Newcastle across the season. The Eagles narrowly ahead. 7 times they've played 4-3. The Eagles lead it, and the majority of those games, as you'll see, have been pretty close affairs. The most important of all, of course, is the cup final win for Newcastle. That game in early December was our first show on Sky Sports. Kieran, do you think the teams have played out their seasons as you thought they would back then?
You know what? I think this has been such a long season. There's been so many changes. I believe that the Newcastle were always going to be there. You know, the winningest team in BBL history. London, you thought they were going to be the heavyweights. Leicester kind of snuck that and won the league. So right now, both teams believe they should be here, and they're going to be playing their best basketball tonight.
All right, let's look at their route to the final then. Starting with Newcastle, they played the champs Leicester in the semi-finals after pulling off another comeback in the first leg. Gino Crandall up to his usual tricks here, hooking up Mo Walker. Cortez Edwards for the Eagles had a disappointing first leg, but not this time around. He stepped up with a big performance, but once again, it was the Ramon Fletcher show. Fletch hit 5 3-pointers on his way to another MVP performance, and in the end, the Eagles came out clear winners. It was one of Leicester's biggest defeats of the season. How did Newcastle pull it off, Anne?
Just team chemistry. I think it's grown throughout the whole playoffs. You know, when you look at the quarterfinals, they shouldn't have won that. They had no right to. And then when you look at the first quarter of game 1 against the Leicester Riders, you think, okay, this is going to be an exit here for the Newcastle Eagles. But they responded, they recovered, and here they are now in the BBL playoff final.
Now, be honest, Kieran Achara, did you think they were dead and buried after that first quarter?
You know what? Yes. And everyone did. I thought they were dead and buried in the Sheffield this season. So, yeah, I think like they've shown great grit and great determination, and like they deserve to be here.
Newcastle love a comeback, I think is what you're saying. Well, London pulled off one of their own in their semi-final against Plymouth. They were trailing the Raiders by 12 points after the first leg. But this was a vintage Lions performance. Justin Robinson, you see, there was a key in driving the Lions, particularly early on. He had a brilliant first quarter. So did Dirk Williams. He's been superb all season long for the Lions. He stepped up once again, as did this man, DeAndre Liggins. He was MVP of the second leg. Brilliant defensively, delivering at the other end of the court as well. How impressive, Kieran, was this Lions offensive performance, putting up 100 points against one of the toughest defenses in the BBL?
You know, they're a bad squad, and I'm using bad in the good sense. You know, they just find a way to get it done. And you know, for me, every time I look at that Plymouth game, especially, I was thinking they're not going to be able to put 100 points on. They put up that in the first quarter. You know, they find ways to score. They're just such an impressive squad.
They really are, and they love the big show as well, as does DeAndre Liggins. He was brilliant in that trophy final win. He's arrived here along with the other players earlier on. Mike Tuck caught up with him and the Newcastle Eagles' Ramon Fletcher.
DeAndre, an incredible battle in the second leg of the semifinal, coming back from 12 points, and an emotional one for you. Talk to us about that game.
It was a big game, back and forth game. We knew what we had to do to win the game, so it was a big task for us, but we overcame it and played well down the stretch.
The lead up to the final, of course, it was a battle. You know, that's what you expect in playoff basketball. When the regular season's over with, the records are 0-0. So when the playoffs come, you got to be ready to put your hard hat on and go to work.
Now the focus moves to today. You know, the BBL playoff final, your first playoff final. Talk about what's the keys to win today.
Let's continue to do the same thing. Come out early start, be aggressive on my part, play defense. I got a big task at hand guarding Fletch. To me, he's the MVP of the league. He's just great. What he do, he played with a chip on his shoulder. So we got a big task on our hands, and I'm sure we're going to come out aggressive.
I think the first team that settles themselves first, because the final is a different animal. I mean, as you know, you played in it before, and the nerves can get there, the excitement can get there, all that can get in the way. But the first team that settles in first will probably have a good chance to win.
Thanks for your time today. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Now, I told you at the top of the show we'd be keeping Mike Tuck busy. Caught up with Liggins and Fletcher, and now here he is courtside with the Lions head coach, Vince McCauley.
I'm here with Vince McCauley. Vince, never shy to make a statement, and definitely never shy to make a fashion statement. Looking good tonight, Coach.
Okay, Mike, I'm just following your footsteps, baby.
How's the mood in camp going into this game?
The mood is very positive. You know, 4th of August we started playing basketball in this season. You know, we played August with no BBL, September with no BBL, October with no BBL. So we got to November when this season particularly started for this competition. Everyone's ambition was to get to the last game and be the last man standing. Well, it's ironic that the 2 London teams, the 2 Newcastle teams made it here. So one more game and hopefully we can get it done.
Yeah, and then let's go back to the last game where we saw one of the most influential Lions, Justin Robinson, go down with an injury. Will he be playing today?
Oh, no. There's no way that Justin could play today. He's got 2 or 3 tears in that ligament. No broken bones, so that is positive. But no, he won't be able to go today, so we'll have to do this for him and without him.
Yeah, and who do you see stepping up in his absence?
Well, as you know, we have a lot of players out here. You know, I'm expecting our other guards to step up. Kevin Ware, Jules Dangakoto, Jordan Spencer. You know, we have enough players there that can do that. You know, it's going to be tough replacing a 2-time MVP. But we're going to give it our best shot and represent London the best way we can.
Coach, thank you for your time and good luck today.
Thank you.
Always got to remember to step up our fashion game when it's finals day, and Vince McCauley has a team in it. Justin Robinson, obviously, is going to be a huge loss. Who do you think, Kieran, needs to step up? We heard what Vince thought, named a few players. You look at this London Lions roster, who needs to step up without their floor general?
Yeah, well, obviously the pressure's more onto DeAndre Liggins. You know, I looked at Justin Robinson that first quarter and the comeback win against Plymouth. You know, 17 points, he put the points on the board. But yeah, DeAndre Liggins definitely have to step up. But then from a guard perspective, you know, you're going to have the combination of Spencer, Ware and Dangakodo all playing their part.
How much of an issue, given the fact this roster is so deep, and that's been a problem for Vince all season long, to keep everybody happy, to give them enough time, how much of that is going to be a problem with players that maybe haven't seen as much court time as he might have liked?
I mean, I think we're at the final stage now where the players have to accept it, and they have to be willing to just contribute anyway. We saw that last game as well. We saw players like Shane Walker come on, hadn't played too much before, had a very valuable performance. Jordan Spencer, Jules Dangakoda was fantastic. I think Jules Dangakoda's got a really big role to play today. But I think with Justin being down, he does so much for this team as a big piece of the puzzle gone.
Well, it's great to see him here anyway, even if he's not able to be on court. DeAndre Liggins, the stand-up player from the semi-final win, as he has been, of course, for much of the season, the former Cleveland Cavalier. He had a triple-double in Game 1, but he told us afterwards that he wasn't happy with that performance. There's no way he could have been upset with his performance in Game 2, is there, Kieran?
He was exceptional in Game 2, and it reminds me of the trophy final, to be fair, because when I watch him warm up, you can see that laser-like focus.
Right.
You know, and he had that for Game 2 against Plymouth. I've been looking right now, I haven't been able to see it thus far because I'm down the other end, but that's the kind of look I'm looking for. If he has that look in his eye, I know it's going to be his night.
What makes him such an effective defensive player, Anne?
Well, he's about 6'7", 6'8", really incredibly long wingspan, but he moves his feet just like a guard. So he'll move just like a 6-foot guard out there. He's quick and he's intelligent as well. He's very, very good at understanding where the basketball is and anticipating steals.
He was a high-profile signing, as was Kevin Ware. He's been pretty quiet in the playoffs so far. He has a great opportunity to step up tonight and play a big role. What have you made of his first season in the BBL?
You know, it's been very up and down, and I think that's been from the roster perspective as well. Just finding his space, coming off the bench, maybe been a little bit difficult for him at times. But, I've seen glimpses of absolute brilliance. And this is the big stage. This is when he wants to bring it. And, what a better way to sign off the end of the season with a big win.
Absolutely. This is the floor. Now, we've heard from Vince McCauley. Let's hear from the Newcastle Eagles head coach. Ian McLeod is with Mike.
Coach, welcome to the final. We've got the Cup champions versus the Trophy champions. And I just want to have a quick word on that because you guys saw the Lions back in January in the Cup final. But there was a little bit of an asterisk next to that as they were depleted due to COVID protocol. Is that something you guys talked about going into this one?
I don't think there was an asterisk. People have injuries. We lost 4 or 5 games in February and March, and we didn't ask for any kind of asterisk because Justin Gordon was out. So certainly not an asterisk for me. We've been on the other side of that. We lost 4 players before we won the trophy last year. So I think the more relevant game is probably the one at our place. Justin was out then as well, so maybe that's a little more relevant to look at.
Yeah, I saw a quote from you earlier this week saying we have to make this final about us. What does that mean exactly?
This isn't one for the coaches to get involved and to try and micromanage. This is for the players. Let them feel good. Let them understand what their identity is and what their strengths are. And not overcoach this one. If the players are ready to go and they're locked in, we're there to support them. And I believe that's the best group of players in that sense will win out today.
And speaking of your players, let's focus in on your best player so far this season, Ramon Fletcher. Talk about his influence on offensive, but also on defense.
Yeah, I think that's something that gets overlooked with Fletcher, and actually it's something that he's improved a lot in the last few years. If you look at us in the playoffs, I don't know, maybe a stat for Dan Routledge, but how many charges we've actually drawn. Fletch this year, he's 6, 7, 8 charges that he's taken at key points as well. You get a few steals in there too, but it's certainly an overlooked part of his game, I feel.
Coach, thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
If we look at this Newcastle Eagles roster, Justin Gordon has impressed us all this season. If he hadn't got out injured earlier on, where he missed a chunk of time, do you think the Eagles could have mounted a more serious title bid?
Yes, I do. I think there was a strong correlation between his absence and the games that they dropped during that period of time. But with him inserted back in, you can just see his confidence growing as well. And he's already gripped, those MVP performances headed into this final game.
Speaking of MVP performances, Ramon Fletcher has been delivering quite a few of those. 61 points and 16 assists in over the 2 legs of the semi-finals. Where does that rank, Kieran, in terms of the most influential performances you've seen on court this season?
It's definitely up there. That first game against Leicester, when they were down really big, he literally carried Newcastle Eagles on his back to make sure that they were still in contention for Game 2. So yeah, definitely up there.
What do London need to do to prevent him from dominating this afternoon now?
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's hard to stop a player like that just because he can do so much. If he's not scoring the ball, he's dishing out 10 to 15 assists and getting everyone else involved. So there's not really an antidote for that. You just have to limit it and make the shots difficult. Contest everything and no easy baskets.
Now his partner in the backcourt is one of the toughest players in the league, and he was, as we saw earlier, another one who stepped up in the second leg after a quiet first leg semi-final. Kieran, how does his play complement Ramon Fletcher in that backcourt?
I think he does all the little things as well. So, like I said, the big offensive rebounds, for example, the way he runs the floor, the way he can play above the rim. I think all those little things complement, Fletch, because at the same time, he gets to kind of be down and dirty as well as when Fletch has been the floor general.
He's one of the toughest competitors in the BBL, isn't he?
He is. He'll give you 10+ rebounds a game, and he's not one of the biggest players on the court. Right. So his energy, his athleticism is top caliber.
Okay, then players warming up, and that means we are getting closer to tip-off in the playoff final, the last game of the BBL season, and it is all to play for. More build up to Eagles Lions coming next.
Liggins for three, knocks it down! Oh my goodness, what a big shot! Sayers, 4 on the shot clock. Big shot here for Fletcher, he sets himself and he streaks it on the buzzer!
Tom Fletcher just cloud 9 right now.
And as it's the season finale, that means it is awards time. We're going to give out, first things first, the BBL Player of the Year.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He's got to be one of the best guards in the league.
Oh, that is beautiful from Gino Crandall. He's got incredible mastery of the ball. Crandall down the lane!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor your 2021 Malters BBL Player of the Year from the Leicester Rhinos, Gino Crandall.
The mercurial Gino Crandall has entertained us all season long. The Riders floor general driving his team to the title. And if you were describing Crandall to someone who's never seen him play, how would you paint the picture?
A little bit of Harlem Globetrotter mixed in with an NBA caliber guard, because that's what he does. He does the razzmatazz, but also he does the little things that all good point guards should do, and that's why he's won this award.
A worthy winner, Kieran?
Yeah, I would have kept it more simple. I would have said his play's just disgusting. That's the only way you can describe him.
Honourable mentions are players that came very close but ultimately didn't get over the line.
You have so many. For me, Ashley Hamilton would be up there. You've got Ramon Fletcher. You've got DeAndre Liggins. There's so much talent in the league this year who have really been great impact for their team.
In that respect, I think the depth of talent, the depth of elite talent, Ant, is stronger than in many years. Is that fair to say?
I agree, yeah, and the pedigree of the players that the BBL has been able to attract this year as well has been top caliber, and we've seen it on court. We've seen remarkable games, drama, everything that you want in a basketball season. We've seen this year. Hopefully, there's more of it to come today.
Well said. Well, let's hear from our MVP. He's with Mike.
Gino, congratulations on the award. This is your first season in the BBL. How did it go for you?
Outside of losing in the semifinal of the playoff, I would say that it went about as good as imaginable. Being able to win the regular season title was huge for our team, huge for our club, huge for myself. A really big personal goal of mine is always, to try and, add a winning culture and winning values anywhere I'm at. So I think I succeeded in that this year. And then being able to, call myself the MVP or the player of the year is just kind of the icing on the cake in regards to all of that.
Now, I think that the next big question that everybody wants to know is, will we see Gino Crandall in the BBL next season?
I hope so. I've really enjoyed my time here. I've really enjoyed the league, the competitiveness, developing rivalries with certain guys and certain teams. So I definitely hope I'm back. I would love if the Riders would have me back, and we'll get that figured out in the coming weeks or months.
Okay. Congratulations, man. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm pretty sure the Riders will have you back, Gino. We all want you to come back as well. Brilliant performance from him. Next up, it's time for the BBL Coach of the Year.
They've really got that winning mentality, and it's all set by Coach Rob Paternostro.
Let's go. Come on, bring it. Come on, be smart.
He's making sure that they're playing the Leicester way, and that's all credit to Rob.
Now please welcome to the court the 2021 BBL Ed Percival Coach of the Year, also from the Leicester Riders, Rob Paternostro.
The Riders doubling down, another league title, of course, for them this season. They've been so consistent all year long, and in a league that's had so much disruption for obvious reasons, how impressive has his involvement been, Kieran Achara, in steering them to the title?
Rob, every single year, he knows how to recruit, he knows what he wants from a player, he knows how to dictate, and then he also knows how to scout other teams as well. He's a great, again, you talk about Gino Crandall being a magician. He is a magician when it comes to scouting and understanding the ins and outs of his opponents.
Talk to anybody in the BBL, around the BBL, there is a uniform consensus opinion that he is one of the very best coaching minds in the business. What makes him such a great coach?
I can tell you from experience, he's great, he's meticulous, he's detailed, and he always gets the best out of his players.
All right, Coach Paternostro is courtside now with Mike.
Coach, congratulations. Your 6th Coach of the Year award, beating out the late and great Kevin Cadle. How does it feel?
Well, when you say that name, it feels amazing. Kev was an amazing coach and an amazing friend to me and did a lot for my coaching career. So to be next to his name really makes me feel good.
And obviously, an exit from the playoffs isn't what you want, but an award like this and also finishing with the league championship has got to be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, it was a great season. I think that obviously we did get to the final here, disappointing, but it was a wonderful season. I told the guys in the locker room after the game, we'll sit back, years' time, and we'll talk about not just how successful we were, but how cool it was to play with such a good group of guys. I really enjoyed them. I'm going to miss them, and it was fun to work with them.
And talking about those guys, a huge part of your success, the guy we just talked to, Gino Crandall, talk about how important he is, and maybe give us some insight if people will see him in a Riders jersey next season.
Well, we'd love to have him back, no question, with Gino. That would be awesome. But he was just a great player, a fun player to watch, but also a leader who did the dirty work as well. A lot of times you get the guys that throw the around-the-back passes, do the reverse dunks. Maybe they don't do the dirty work, but Gino did the dirty work, played hard, played together, and was a great teammate as well.
Coach, thank you for your time and congratulations.
Thank you.
Worthy champions. Congratulations to Coach Rob Paternostro and the Leicester Riders, but it is now all about the playoff final. Kieran, what are the key matchups that you think are going to decide this one?
I just heard the Liggins is going to be guarding Fletcher. That's the key matchup. Who's going to be able to dictate that matchup? I think that will be the key to the game.
And which way are you leaning?
It's all the matchups are all over the place. I got a feeling Newcastle are going to do this. They found a way to get here. Why not? They're here now. Why not win it?
To square things up, one apiece. All right, we're ready to get this one going. Players about to take the court. The season finale, and two great teams with very little to choose between them. They'll decide it over the next few hours. Let's hand over to our commentary team, led by Dan Routledge.
Thank you very much, Nat. Well, when the season was supposed to have started back in September, this day looked a long, long way away. So much work has gone into it, up and down the countries, in clubs, in venues, the league itself. And they've had an incredible season. But now we have 40 minutes left. We have the most successful team in the history of British basketball. The Newcastle Eagles going up against the new team in town, the new boys who are rising to the top, who want to knock Newcastle off their perch. In order to do that, they have to try and beat them here in the final. And we see number 13 coming out, Darius Defoe, his 10th playoff final. Only his former coach and teammate Papalanoy has been in more. Incredible achievement to make 10 playoff finals in your career.
Incredible achievement, incredible longevity. I've been in some of those battles with him, and I look at him now and think he's still there, adding value and adding to his Mr. 26 trophy's name.
And then last out, number 44, Ramon Fletcher. Surely how he goes, so too do the Newcastle Eagles. Sensational in the playoffs, an incredible season. We've become numb to how good he is over the years.
And he just keeps amazing us too. The playoffs, he just comes up with these big performances. He propels his teams to the next stages in this playoffs, but he's going to need some significant support today, Dan.
Well, back last summer, all the talk was about the London Lions. During the season, most of the talk was about the London Lions. Will we be talking about them at the end of the season as well?
Who knows, Dan? It's whether it was good news, bad news, or just straight up drama. London Lions were never too far away from a headline, but boy, have they matched expectation, already secured themselves a trophy, and here at this very game that all of the other 11 BBL clubs wanted to be at.
Well, Vince made the point in his interview after the semi-finals. They played every game this year, every single final, all the way through, and as he said, they came together first because of their European commitment, and they will be here at the last. He, though, will not take to the court, and that is a huge blow for them. Whatever he's done in finals, he is their talisman, he is their leader, and he will have plenty to say if he can be out there and actually make plays for his team.
He's a big reason of why they're even here, Dan. It was a sensational performance from him in that first quarter alone in the semi-final to instill belief into his team, and it's a huge loss to the Lions when he went down in the third quarter, but it's safe to say they're deep enough to respond.
Well, he's their best three-point shooter and he won't be there, but Dirk Williams at the top, their leading scorer, certainly can put the ball in the basket. Ramon Fletcher basically does Ramon Fletcher things. Whatever he wants, he gets. And Liggins, I'm sure, will have something to say about how he does that here today. And if we look at the head-to-head numbers, two of the leading scorers in the league, two of the leading conceded in the league. We expect this one to be very high scoring. But which team will be able to come out on top? We'll have to find out. We're not long away from tip-off here in Leicester. We're going to have a very short break, and then we will be back with the tip-off. as the Lions and the Eagles go head-to-head. Let's have a look at the starting fives for today's game, and the big news, Jordan Spencer filling the role of Justin Robinson in the backcourt.
Huge responsibility for Jordan Spencer here on this big stage, but he's going to need significant inputs here from Liggins, Ali Hodges, Parkers, and Derek Williams, who wasn't particularly great to his standards in the semi-finals.
Let's have a look at the lineup for Newcastle. No surprises in there. We've talked a lot about Fletcher. We've mentioned Defoe. Gordon, of course, was the MVP in the cup final on this court.
He is no stranger to playing in big games, and he loves this arena. This was the very arena he got the MVP in. And I say it once again, Sayers needs to make shots today.
Well, the message has been loud and clear all season, and it will continue to be. The players and clubs of the British Basketball League and against racism and inequality wherever it's found. Here we go then, one game left in the British Basketball League season. It's the playoff final. It is the Lions and the Eagles, and it is London who get us underway. And that is Ramon Fletcher saying, welcome to the game, Jordan Spencer.
It is, and it's a statement of intent, isn't it? That the intensity there is going to be something up there, and Jordan Spencer has to be able to manage that at the point guard position.
Liggins with it from the start. Down to Ali Hodges. Well, they did well initially to keep him away. He gets his own rebound, fighting back, scoops it underneath, and eventually a foul is called, but good work on the glass from the London Lions on the opening possession.
Really good offense there. Starts with Liggins with a great post entry, and then Ali Hodges staying with it and then not getting it to go, but Orlando Parker getting involved with the activity there and getting fouled.
First point of the final on the board. Second one off, and the rebound by Defoe. Well, interesting. Liggins said in his pre-game interview, me guarding Fletcher, but it is Dirk Williams who's guarding Fletcher on the first play. I'm sure Liggins will see some time in front of number 44 at some point. Good hands from Williams to knock it loose. Defoe steps in, top of the key, knocks it down.
It's a really good sign that Darius Defoe is looking for that jump shot of his aggressively and, more importantly, knocking it down.
Well, you don't get to 26 by not making down shots in big games, and Parker hits a big one for the Lions.
Well, he's been identified as being one of those X-Factor players, and when you think back to the big occasions that what the London Lions have achieved this year, Parker has been involved.
Gordon going aggressively, doesn't get the finish. Well, Gordon on the floor, and Parker with a hot start here, 6 points.
That's what you've got in DeAndre Liggins. Your starting point guard is out, but you've got a guy like Liggins who sees the floor just as good as any point guard in the league and delivers on that great pass.
Liggins is actually the best assist man on his team, third in the league, only Fletcher and Crandall ahead of him. Here's Defoe. Put him on the floor this time, and he's bumped.
Good aggressive move there from Darius Defoe, and Ali Hodges just couldn't quite move his feet quick enough, but what Ali Hodges does have is he has that strength there to bump Darius Defoe away from the rim.
Well, an early change for Vince McCauley. Chris Tarwier into the game for Ali Hodges. Sayers back to Fletcher for three. Back iron. Spencer. Williams in the corner, strings the three.
Well, Williams inputting his impact on the game, both ends of the floor. He's a lot longer than Fletcher, was a good contestant on the other end of the floor. Hits one in the corner.
Overcooks it. The versatility of Liggins. It switched on to Defoe, but defended him well. Tavia into Parker, who's up to 8 already. And a timeout has to be called here. 2.5 minutes into the playoff final. And what's going on here? Some chatter. And a bit of something going on the court. Oh, let's see what the referees make of it. Defoe very unhappy about something. The referees are going to have to work out what's going on here. There was 1 or 2 players from the bench onto the court, which of course you're not allowed to do. Whether they decide any of that is worth dealing with, because obviously leaving the bench area can be an automatic disqualification. And they've got plenty to talk about here. We're going to go to the table and have a chat with the officials as well over there, but I didn't even see how it started.
I didn't know. I just saw the commotion over there, and I'm sure there was a lot of talking because London Lions have jumped out in this game. Offense looking very fluid, and they're just converting with such conviction, and it's been a tough start for the Newcastle Eagles thus far in this game.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if the outcome of this is just a word with both coaches that says, we're not going to take any of this. The next person to do anything stupid is going to be in trouble. And the referees are actually going to send the teams to the side to have that conversation, I think.
You're right, though, Dan. We've seen it at all levels. As soon as a bench player leaves the bench and as a court, we've seen disqualifications on that offense.
Well, there's the sort of vagary in the fact that a timeout was called, so it's sort of slightly different. But I think that is, let's not be silly here. There's a basketball game to be played. Get out there and play it. Stop worrying about the other stuff. Well, we're back underway. Fletcher down to Sayers in the corner for 3. Back iron. Williams gets to it, and that is an offensive foul as Gordon took the stand.
Oh, Gordon was there, mid-court, waiting for that collision to come. Goodness me, it could have went any other. It could have went any way, because you don't often see offensive fouls get called there in the, before mid-court.
In quick to Defoe and Edwards at the rim. They still can't score here, Newcastle. 3 minutes gone, just 2 on the board.
London's length is really bothering them. Derek Williams, DeAndre Liggins, just challenging everything.
And this guy is certainly causing them all sorts of problems with 10 points in the first 3 minutes.
Really is good use of the pump fake there in the corner, which Gordon had to honour. It's all the way to the basket.
Edwards shot is short again. The challenge from Parker made it difficult. Well, Coach McLeod has already called 1 timeout. He's only got 2 in the half, and that is a deflection out of bounds for a end-line ball. I think if he had 6 or 7 like they do in the NBA, he'd probably have called a second one by now as well, wouldn't he?
I think so. Let's not forget they're called the Comeback Kings, and they have done that very thing in the playoffs, so maybe this is all just part of the bigger plan.
Oh, Parker with a rare miss, but Liggins with an offensive rebound. They've got 4 offensive rebounds as well. Dangakodo, first touch of the ball, really, as he's come into the game. This is the 3.
Good ball movement, though, from the London Lions, and good activity from Liggins to retrieve possession.
Nice pass. Fletcher to the post for 2.
It's a great look and good run into the floor, like big man straight down the middle, trailing. Nice finish.
Spencer. Tawia stumbling, gets it out to the corner. Dangakodo with the nice dish this time to Tawia.
Good work there between those two. Dangakodo penetrated and it is big man, an easy layup.
His room for Spencer, for Sayers even for 3.
Lewis Sayers, we said it before, needs to make shots, and coming off that screen, wide open.
Liggins getting all the way to the finger roll. Sayers can't quite get his hands on the ball, and it will be possession for the Lions. They want that one back. Pfluger and Maxwell into the game for the first time for Newcastle. That's a foul, surely. Yeah. Gordon with the grab on Ali Hodzic.
And Newcastle Eagles have to be locked in defensively here. That was a breakdown from an out of bounds.
And a breakdown from an out of bounds, but Spencer blows the layup. Oh, he nearly did it twice in a row there. Somehow they dodged the bullet. Fletcher getting in. And that one was difficult.
There's a lot of bodies in the middle there and contesting, making things difficult for Ramon Fletcher.
Ali Hodzic off the rim.
Lucas came into this game, a couple of rebounds for him early. He's brought some good energy already.
He's got himself into an awkward spot there. Able to get out of it. Dangakodo now on Fletcher. Gordon back out to Maxwell, on to Sayers on the near side. It's same result.
Some good basketball there. The Newcastle Eagles were very patient. The ball stuck over the far side for quite some time, but they were able to rotate it and find the open man.
Here's Parker. Replies with his own triple. 13 first quarter points for him.
Orlando Parker clearly been speaking to Justin Robinson before this game. He's on course to have a 17-point first quarter like his teammate.
Foul called.
I don't think there's any secret to it too. I can see how that conversation played out. He asked Justin, how do you get 17 points in the first quarter? And he just says, you just make lots of shots.
You make lots of shots, that's the way. Well, Richard Midgley's 36 worth a mention here as the record in a playoff final. He's got 13 inside one quarter. Battle inside between Ali Hodzic and Maxwell. We'll see Ali Hodzic go to the bench on his second foul.
Well, that's a blow. Just because Ali Hodges, we've seen in the playoffs him dominate certain games, and that early foul trouble will surely sit him now until the third quarter. Well, and Evan Maxwell could be a key piece of the puzzle here for the Newcastle Eagles, particularly on the offensive end. He's someone that has that ability to get you 15 or to 20 points a game and be able to do that in a number of ways, shooting a three or from the post position.
He gets his first couple of points at the final here. Dangakodo. Parker back to Dangakodo for 3, got caught. And that'll be 3 free throws for Jules Dangakodo.
Frustrating foul there, I think, for the Newcastle Eagles. Yes, Dangakodo is someone who can knock down that shot, but he hasn't made one yet, and I think you just got to do your best to challenge. And that was a clear foul, or I think it was an easy one for the refs to call.
Why is that not shooting fouls? Foul is after the shot, apparently. I'm not sure. Well, surprised by that. Dangakodo, where misses the three. Lions with another offensive rebound. 6 here in the first quarter. Parker into the long two. And they're on the glass again, and Kevin Ware with the rebound.
Great energy from the London Lions, just another possession after another possession. Eagles have to find a way here to secure the defensive rebound. Well, this is going to be a long day, because London Lions will, by percentage alone, will be able to rack up some second point chance opportunities.
Liggins back to Ware. Ware for three. Maxwell with the rebound. Sayers. Fletcher. Looking for room along the baseline. Sayers in the corner. Off the iron, but he manages to chase down his own rebound. Maxwell will fire up the three. Liggins this time has his hands on it. Whoa. Dangakodo. Liggins driving all the way off the glass. 2 of them there to tip it in. Ware at the second attempt.
And London Lions are attacking the offensive glass and getting rewarded for it.
Fletcher seems to be in a bit of pain. See what we see here. Just a collision, but it certainly hurt him. Drew Leicester into the final for the first time. Gordon. Ware with the rebound. He's looking to go. Fletcher's on the deck. Dangakodo trying to drop it back, and now Newcastle have numbers the other way. Maxwell out to Fletcher. Trying to force it through, but it's deflected away. Liggins. Parker. 15 now.
Randall Parker just on fire, and Newcastle Eagles struggles still continue at the other end of the floor. Weren't able to capitalize on a couple of transition offensive plays.
Well, on the rebound, there was a foul on Justin Gordon for a push. And that is the worst of all worlds, really, for Newcastle, because the basket is good. They go straight to the free throw line because they're over the limit for another 2 points. And Gordon picks up his second foul.
Well, it's big for them, obviously, on the offensive end, because they lose his production for however long he has to sit on the bench. But secondly, defensively, we already saw him challenge a shot there, and London turned the ball over because they're aware of Gordon challenging to block the shot, and actually resulted in an offensive transition for the Newcastle Eagles, which they're going to have to look to go to, because the half-court set right now is proving difficult for them.
Maxwell misses. We're trying to keep it in bounds, and it will be the Newcastle ball.
Minute to play, down with only 12 points on the scoreboard. Newcastle Eagles have to find a solution here to this drought.
Sayers is, oh, that's not the solution. An offensive foul. Sayers actually made the shot as well. Luger called for the moving screen.
yeah. I didn't see that as a moving screener. He got hit, and I think his feet moved, but he didn't move into that screen.
Ware flips one up off the mark.
Newcastle Eagles just cannot secure this defensive rebound.
Well, they have 10 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. Newcastle have 5 defensive rebounds, so 2/3 of the missed shots have ended up back in London's hands.
Goodness me.
Ware along the baseline. It's going to be an offensive foul on Kevin Ware.
Well, Kevin Ware's clearly been told to be aggressive. He's looked for his shot early, and he's trying to make things happen on the drive.
Luger bringing it forward. Down to Maxwell, but too far away from him.
That's an uncharacteristic turnover from Fletcher as well, and he turned the ball over previously as well. And I mean, this is where we raised the question as well. Ricky McGill, we saw it happen to him for the Plymouth Raiders. You know, he's played such heavy minutes. He's had to go through such emotional turmoil just to get to this stage. Is that going to have an effect now on his performance?
Turned over. Shot clock is off, so Newcastle can take the last possession here. Where this time? He's had about 4 or 5 different guys thrown at him too, Fletcher. Fletcher spinning. Driving through. Offensive foul call against Ramon Fletcher. That's going to be his second personal foul.
Fletcher trying to make something new happen, and again, I have to say, it's a suspect calls already early in this game. Again, very easy for me to say, looking at my monitor here, but wasn't set for me. But hey, a great play from Shane Walker. Not only has he got his team back the basketball, but he also got a foul on Ramon Fletcher.
Can he get the shot away on the buzzer? He can. It does not go. We're at the end of the first quarter here in Leicester. It is a 24-12 lead for the London Lions. A lot on the line, and tensions were fraying early on.
Hey! Yo! Hey, relax yourself, man. It's about us. God damn.
take the lead at one stage in that game. Can they find some life here? Gordon driving to the basket. Will shoot 2.
Good aggressive move from Justin Gordon, and Coach McLeod entrusting his player not to pick up a 3rd foul before half-time. They're going to need his offense purely for that reason. You know, it's a team who struggled to score the basketball, and Justin Gordon is certainly a guy who can remedy that issue.
Well, he is rolling the dice. He's got 3 players out there on 2 fouls with Pfluger, Gordon and Fletcher. But you're down double figures in the playoff final. There's no point in saving it. As you say, you've got to trust them at some point. Walker. Stolen away by Gordon, but he bounces back to Walker. Ware bobbles the ball back out to Ickenwin. Time running out on the offense. He misses everything. Newcastle have the ball.
Very good defensive possession. You see the intensity there.
Travel.
Again, uncharacteristic from Ramon Fletcher. These are just errors we never see him make. I don't know if that was a travel. I'd have to question that call. I'm not sure, but it didn't.
I think it was because he didn't shoot it. I think if he'd shot the ball, that's okay, but you can't pass it after that. That's my thought, but you know me and the travel rule.
Yeah, I think you get 2 free steps regardless of what you choose to do.
I think you get about 4 these days. Here's Liggins. Back to Dangakodo. Dangakodo fires up the 3, that's too long. Edwards with the rebound. Edwards pushing, dumps it off to Defoe, and he's fouled from behind. Jared can win, it'll be 2 shots.
I thought that was a good decision by Cortez Edwards there. He had Darius Defoe, he had Ramon Fletcher, but he saw Liggins was there as well. Instead of passing the ball out to Ramon Fletcher, who was going to get challenged by the taller defender in Liggins, he opted to go to Darius Defoe's side, and he dribbled it one more time, which drew the defense in that little bit more. Good decision from Cortez Edwards there on the open floor, because that's something they haven't done well. London Lions have turned the ball over. They turned the ball over 4 times in the first quarter, and Newcastle Eagles got 0 fast break points, 0 points off turnovers. They haven't been good in transition, and that's not something we often say. You know, Newcastle Eagles are very good in transition, usually.
Defoe makes both from the line. He's got 6. Leading scorer on his team. Wow. Ripped away by Pfluger.
That's great defense there.
Fletcher under pressure, still able to finish, and Vince McCauley wants to talk things over. His lead is down to 6.
Dan, the defensive effort by this Newcastle Eagles, when you compare it to the first quarter and this existing second quarter, is night and day. The intensity, the energy levels, the intent to want the basketball. You know, in the first quarter, that was a tad bit late and a foul by Pfluger. This time, he rips the ball away, and then they're out in transition.
Well, they've got themselves back in to the ball game on that defensive play. 6 points to 0 here in the first 90 seconds of this second quarter, and that's the thing. When the offense isn't quite flowing, you can breathe some life into it at the other end of the floor.
Kevin Ware trying to be aggressive, trying to make things happen, but Pfluger, just a great defensive play. And then, as you say, Dan, the defense, it just charges the offense. We see this time and time again, and Ramon Fletcher, it's a difficult shot, but a good shot, and I think it's a good sign for the Newcastle Eagles offense that he's made one of those, just because he's had his struggles, isn't he? We compare him to you know, we put him on a pedestal and compare him to the elite because he is elite, and we've seen him do some just absolutely remarkable things. And when he has a turnover, we're all sitting there thinking, oh, Ramon Fletcher doesn't do that very much.
And he's had 4 in this game already.
And he could go 40 minutes without even getting anywhere close to having 4 turnovers. So, look, a lot of it is mental toughness as well, and he has that in an abundance. That's why he is who he is. It'll be interesting to see now how they respond.
I think it's interesting when you listen to him talk. He's very matter-of-fact about it because he's been in so many situations. He can think about it in that way, whereas most people would be maybe a little anticipation or nervousness or whatever. He's just always comes across very calm, very relaxed in everything he does. And if you have the talents that he does, why wouldn't you be? It's foul called off the ball. I think it's on Orlando Parker. No, in fact, it's Dirk Williams.
You notice as well with the Newcastle Eagles, they're gang rebounding as well defensively, so that they're securing the defensive rebound, which is obviously giving them a possession, but also igniting the offense and getting things going.
Round it goes to Edwards. A lot of room for the 3, and he hits it.
Big shot there, and Cortez Edwards, a man who doesn't need to score the basketball, but if he is giving you points, he's making this Newcastle Eagles offense very difficult to stop.
Lead is down to 3, and it might go further here as Edwards has Fletcher. Fletcher lays it in, and the Newcastle Eagles have started out with the first 11 points of this second quarter.
Rex Pfluger again with a big defensive deflection there, and almost another one.
Liggins is able to hang on that time. Here's Parker. Misses everything. Couldn't miss anything in the first half. Hibbert misses on the buzzer. And what a turnaround here at the start of the second. Newcastle can take the lead here. As Edwards drives in, it's knocked out of bounds. Newcastle possession.
You've got to remember as well, this intensity on defense. Several guys out there with 2 fouls, but they're playing with like it's a clean slate, and they're doing it legally.
Dirk Williams picked up his 3rd on that previous play, which is why he went out of the game. Here's Edwards dumping it into Gordon, probably putting him in a harder spot than Edwards is. Maybe Edwards should have shot that.
I thought he was at first. I thought it's a really flat jump shot, but I don't know. You bet on Justin Gordon to make something happen down there as well, and he did. He still has possession of the ball. He's just smothered by the London Lions defense. London Lions are yet to score in this quarter. Stuck on 0, 11-0. They've got to figure out for themselves now who to go to.
Gordon misses everything. Liggins. Back out to Liggins. Off the mark for 3. Still they can't score here, London. Fletcher pushing, trying to get it to Defoe. Defoe does get it in the end, but his body on the line, literally, and out of bounds.
That's when you know you've got respect and veteran status, when the referee's helping you off the floor as well. I felt like Ramon Fletcher made the wrong decision there as well. Typically you'll make that first pass there and trust Defoe would make a play.
5th turnover. Liggins, cross court. Ward Hibbert hits the 3. First points of the second quarter for the London Lions.
Josh Ward Hibbert, he loves that high pressure stakes. Big plays, and that was a big shot.
Gordon looking to attack, getting to the finger roll. Lions have it. Spencer Out to Alihodzic. Liggins with room. Alihodzic with the rebound, blocked from behind by Gordon.
Good hands there, because Alihodzic was about to put that one back.
Dangerous as well on two.
Yeah.
Fletcher, he's going to turn the ball over again, is he? No.
Good defense from Josh Ward-Hibbett.
That looked like it might have come off Fletcher in the end.
Well, Eagles fortunate, I think, to keep possession here.
Into Defoe. Oh, can't score.
Oh, he'd want that one back as well. That was a really good look.
Spencer blocked by Edwards, who keeps it in play as well.
Incredible defensive play. I thought he was beat because he left his feet on the pump fake, but he was able to recover and not only block the shot, but retain possession.
Fletcher going the long way round, off the side of the board.
Fletcher looks tired, Dan.
Yeah. Well, Parker hits the deck, but referee's happy with it. Fletcher going back door. No! And it's out of bounds off Gordon, it will be. The Newcastle ball. The Gordon's protestations that it came off Spencer. He just needs to calm himself here. He's on 2 fouls. He can't afford a technical. He just needs to walk him away. They need to walk him away. Well, this is how Parker... Oh, he just lost his feet. That's how he went down. And then this is the one here that had the ire of Gordon as Fletcher shovels it to him.
It wasn't a clean catch from Justin Gordon, and yes, he's upset with the call, but I'm sure he's upset with himself there because you just got to catch the ball.
I thought it came off him as well after all of that. He was adamant it wasn't.
Well, you set this one up, Dan. Two of the top scoring teams in the league, and neither team look with any sort of continuity or fluidity on offense. Both teams really struggling to get anything going. And I think with regards to London Lions, it's sometimes it's difficult when you've got a guy that scores so much. Like Orlando Parker has been superb for them in first quarter, 15 first quarter points. But what that does is no one else is really in any type of flow or feels confident or good about themselves. It took Josh Ward-Hibbett to come off the bench and hit that three in the corner to get them off zero in this quarter.
Still their only score in this quarter. So you're telling me 29% versus 31% wasn't what I sold at the top? Is that what you...
Misleading, I think, is a fair statement. But I mean, with that as well, come on, this is the BBL playoff final. So with that's going to come intensity. We've seen the Newcastle Eagles just completely switch their approach to this game. Their intensity is increased dramatically, and so is their defense.
And that is a good hand in from Gordon. Ooh, I think Hodges might have got the last finger on that. Hard to see in real time, but on the replay. And Hodges with the rebound. Driving hard, slapped down, that definitely came off his leg.
Darius Defoe is so good at that, isn't he? 2 fouls, doesn't care. He's that confident in his ability to get the ball. He swipes down, and you have to be perfect. This is a play that if you get a little bit of hand, it's an easy call for the ref because you swipe down, but it's just a phenomenal defensive play from Darius Defoe.
Zayas. Gordon now. Oh, Fletcher wasn't ready for that. I think he thought Gordon was going on his own there.
Sometimes, for whatever reason, you're just not on the same page and your reactions just aren't quite as in tune with your teammates as they usually are, and Newcastle Eagles are experiencing that at the moment.
Despite all of that, they're only down 4. That'll be the positive message come halftime. Here's Parker with his first points of the second quarter.
Well, that was the most space he's had since the first quarter, I think, and he knocks it down like he has been.
Defoe going the long way around. His shot rims out. Parker's spinning baseline. Is that on Gordon? If it is, it's his third. It is. Big blow.
Oh, yeah.
Just got his arm across his waist, doesn't he?
Oh, Coach McLeod took that risk and 3
Had
minutes.
to, really.
Yeah. 3 minutes to go. He got this far in the game, and
Tawiah with a nice spin.
Tawiah, he was a pleasant and positive impact in that semi-final, leg 2, into Plymouth Raiders last game, and getting rewarded with playing time now.
Here's Sayers. Stolen away by Liggins. Spencer back to Liggins. Just. And they're back out to 10, London.
It wasn't the cleanest of passes, but it was a good retaliation for the Lions.
Well, Newcastle scored the first 11. London have scored the last 9. That's this second period. Maxwell trying to force his way through. Tawiah strips it away from him. Now it's Newcastle's turn to be unable to score. Ward Hibbert. Out to Spencer. Deflected. Maxwell. Edwards to Sayers. Using the basket well to lay that in.
Smart move from Lewis Sayers, who's been he's been a positive spark for them. 8 points, leading the Newcastle Eagles offense at present.
Liggins into Tawiah. Trying to force his way through. Spencer's shot is off the mark. Another offensive rebound, and Parker turns it into points.
Just a miscommunication there, I think, with the Eagles. 2 went for the rebound, and it popped up nicely for Orlando Parker, who adds to his tally. 19 points personal for him.
Fletcher splits through the defenders all the way to the basket.
That's tough, and that's the customary move that we see from Ramon Fletcher. That's a beautiful move.
Liggins back to Parker. Shot clock ticking down here for London. Ward Hibbert in the corner. Easy rebound for Edwards.
Good defensive possession there, and a good non-foul contest in the corner from Lewis Sayers.
Here's Sayers for 3. Tawiah have hold of him, or did Maxwell have hold of Tawiah? 2, 4, 5. It is Tawiah who's called for the foul. So he's actually boxing him out there, isn't he, Maxwell? Five on the shot clock. Fletcher for 3 with 2 guys right in front of him, and he strings it.
Goodness me, that's a big play, and the right play as well. Instead of trying to dribble through those 2 defenders, pulls up and hits the shot.
Liggins is fouled. It's only the second, it's not shots.
I've still got reminiscence from that first quarter. I think we're still in the bonus, but that was a quarter ago, and you're right, that's the only second foul of the
Well, London Lions, Vince McCauley is going to call a timeout to draw up a play here with 2.4 seconds to go in the first half. His team lead by 5. Here's Fletcher's shot. Look at them. 2 of them diving out at him. Bottom of the net.
Such a difficult shot. And big play from Fletcher. And again, that mental toughness, that ability to stay locked in while things aren't going your way. And that's 9 points for Ramon Fletcher, who's had a relatively slow start to this game by his standards. And here he is sitting with 9 points and 4 assists.
The 5 turnovers he'd want back, isn't it? That's that's the thing. But here we go for Newcastle. You know, they were 24-12 down at the end of the first quarter. A stop here, they go in just 5 points down, having outscored London 18-11. I mean, that's a really good quarter if they can get this stop with 2.4 seconds to go.
It is, and as you said, it hasn't gone without their troubles. They were really struggling to do anything really during that London Lions run, but yeah, here they are, 18-11 up, and again going into half time with belief and anything's possible in the second half approach.
Ward Hibbett to inbound. Ware with the shot, hits the top of the backboard, and that'll do it for a seesaw first half. Momentum swinging one way and then the other, but it is the London Lions who head towards the locker room with the 5-point advantage here at the Morningside Arena in Leicester. They did lead by 12 at the start of this quarter, but Newcastle flew out of the blocks in that second. London regained their composure, but it is Newcastle closing the gap. And the thing for Newcastle, the area they really need to improve, 14 offensive rebounds they've given up to this Lions team.
Yeah, and they made adjustments at the start of the second quarter. They were getting stops and they were securing the rebound, and that was what spurred their run on there, the 11-0 run in the second quarter. But yeah, Dan, they have to do a better job of securing that defensive rebound.
Well, let's get some reaction from the Newcastle Eagles. Mike Tuck is with Drew Lasker.
Drew, I want to rewind back to the first quarter right at the beginning of the game. Quite a big flare-up on the court between the two teams. Tensions are running a bit high to start the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a final. Obviously, emotions running high on both sides. The refs did a great job in not giving out any technical fouls and letting us play through that. But you see it's cleared up now, and now we're getting the basketball.
And the London Lions really attacked early there, finishing the first quarter with 24 points to your 12. But then a little bit of a flip-flop in that second quarter where you scored 18, they only scored 11, and only puts you at a 5-point deficit going into half. What changed in that second quarter?
I mean, we just talked about collecting ourselves and getting back to playing our style of basketball. Obviously, we didn't want to get caught up in the style that London plays. They're used to playing that type of way. And we talked about we've been in this position before, in particular with Leicester. We got off to a slow start in the first leg and was able to bring it back. So we just talked about collecting ourselves and staying poised.
And what's the next move? What are you guys going to do differently in the third?
Well, I think we got a rebound. Obviously, I just heard Dan there say the rebound count there. They got 10 or 11 offensive rebounds, so we got to clear those things up so we can get out and run. We haven't really ran tonight, but I think the way that Parker's gotten off to a good start and, in our slow start, we'll be happy going into halftime down by 5.
Drew, thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Yeah, just a 5-point deficit for the Eagles, which is something they'll be looking at and thinking it's an absolutely surmountable total given the comebacks they've demonstrated throughout the playoffs. Reaction and analysis coming next. Once again, a tale of two quarters for the Eagles. Abject in the first, but strong in the second. London had a 12-point lead after the first period, but Newcastle went on a big run at the start of the second to get within touching distance of the Lions. It's a 5-point ball game at the half in our playoff final. And Kieran Achara, Drew Lasker made the point in his chat with Mike just before the break. The big difference in this game can be seen in the offensive rebound.
Yeah, you know, it's given London his second chance opportunities. I think it's been 31 rebounds down that end, 14 of them to London Lions. That's unprecedented number.
Especially guys like Fletcher. I mean, he's got 9 points, but he's got, I think, 5 turnovers right now.
Right.
And then another guy, Gordon. I mean, you know, he's, I think, only got 3 points right now, but also 3 fouls, so that's going to hurt him moving forward.
Didn't help the fast start the London Lions had either, or, to be more precise, Kieran Achara, the fast start Orlando Parker had 15-point first quarter. Was he their strongest player in the half?
He definitely was, you know, and he was a pressure release for them too, because, you know, he was just doing everything he caught the ball every single time, getting the right space there, looking for the ball. And the thing about Parker is he loves to be aggressive, you know. He likes, you know, for a tall player, he likes to face up, attack the basket. He's got such versatility to his game, but yeah, he was definitely the hot hand in the first quarter.
And this is the strength in depth, right? Because he had a relatively quiet semi-final, but here he is stepping up when maybe some of the other players who've had bigger playoffs, bigger seasons, haven't. Okay, so good start for the Lions, but Newcastle clawed their way back into it. That 11-point run that they had at the start of the second quarter. Mike, how were they able to get their offense going?
I think they moved the ball. I think, you know, the London Lions defensively are really clued up on Fletcher right now. So on any on-ball screens, they're doubling. And when you double a guy, that means one of the other players is open. So a couple possessions where they were able to move the ball and find that open man. You know, Louis Sayers knocking down a couple crucial shots. And Fletcher kind of got going a little bit better in that second quarter. You know, didn't score till then. So they're going to need him, man. He's their go-to guy, and he's the guy that got them here. So they're going to need him today.
And like always, you know, I always said that when Newcastle decide to play defence, their offence gets going.
Right.
You know, and I think 24 points for London in the first quarter, only 11 in that second quarter, and then Newcastle found a way to get back and get offensively firing.
Great point, no coincidence there. So Ramon Fletcher warmed up in the second quarter. Things warmed up pretty early doors across the board. Passion running high on both sides, as we heard from Drew at the half. But how much does this affect either side? Do you think there's one side that wants to avoid this more than the other, Kieran?
Yeah, you know, I'm looking back at that situation. I think they were just saying, you know, congratulations getting to the finals. You know, there was nothing in it. But I wholeheartedly believe that London especially feed off that. They love that kind of, you know, playing with a chip on the shoulder. Everyone hates us. Kind of, let's get behind this. And that's, I think, from a momentum standpoint, London, you know, they live for those moments.
Right. Okay. Well, the Lions have the advantage at the half. Before we get back to the action, of course, at half-time all the way through the season, we have been bringing you our favourite plays from across the BBL that week, seeing as it is the season finale. Here are our favourite plays from across the BBL all season long.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Just spin the up and under. Jar, what a finish!
Goodness me. Nice dunk finish over the 7-footer dealt.
Oh my goodness. Oh, baby. Now forget the dunk. Didn't you see what he did to Murray there? Oh my goodness.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Liggins will go alone. Oh, Willie, lovely pass, baseline cut. And that's the multiple times they've used that play.
Crandall.
Oh my goodness, what a pass from Gino Crandall behind the back to Nelson Henry.
Crandall to Johnson to win it. He makes it! Corey Johnson for 3, but there is still 2.6 seconds to go. They lead the league. Oh, Cherubia throws sends it out.
Well, that's good news for Plymouth if Ocherobio is blocking shots.
Here's Hildreth in transition. Nice spin to the basket. Oh, that is beautiful.
He is so good when he gets downhill like that.
Wow, route one, straight through the defense, slices through and finishes with a jam.
Oh, that three was quite amazing.
Lobbed into Gordon. Oh, what a jam from Justin Gordon.
Fair to say, something today. Can he take his Newcastle Eagles side on and double down? It is all to play for here in Leicester. Coach McLeod and Coach McCauley busy right now in the locker room, setting their sides up for a big second half of basketball. Coming next. All of the great action we have seen over the last 5 months, and we're down to the final half of the BBL season, and this one is wide open. Will it be Newcastle or London that will take down the final silverware of the season? Let's find out as we head back to Ant and Dan.
Good question, Nat. I'm going to bounce it straight to Mr. Rowe. What do you reckon, Rowe, from here?
I'm 20 minutes into this game and I'm not really none of the wiser. I think both teams have been careless with the basketball. There's 20 turnovers almost between the two of them, and neither are really shooting the ball particularly well. So I don't know. And what I will say is, we know Newcastle have got a comeback in them. So yeah, the deficit's only 5, but we know that they're no stranger to being down at halftime.
Well, that's a nice fence you sat on there. Mike Tucker's joined us up in comms. Are you going to put your neck on the line, Mike, and pick a winner from here?
I'm going to say it was a tale of 2 quarters there. I think Newcastle really settled in that second quarter. Probably wasn't their best quarter. But I'm going to sit on the fence and see what happens here in the second half.
Have we got any other commentators in the building who might give us an opinion and pick a winner?
What do you think, Dan?
It's not my job to think. It's my job to see what happens. Here comes Liggins to start us off in the second half. Liggins with the step back, strings it.
Well, he's a guy that can certainly prop up this offense, and that's been the issue for them. Orlando Parker's had a stellar first half with 19 points, but everyone else, just chipping in with a basket here and there.
Here's Gordon. Driving in. Ooh, offensive foul is the call. And Justin Gordon has his 4th foul of the ball game just 36 seconds into the second half.
Wow, huge blow for the Newcastle Eagles, and you see the drop of the shoulder there, and Orlando Parker was equal to the position in there, and Justin Gordon will go to the bench. The question is, how long can or will Coach McCord keep him over there for?
Yeah, I'm the one that's supposed to ask the questions as well here. But my answer would be scoreboard related. If it gets too far away, they're going to just have to bring him in. Parker driving in, gets it to Ali Hodzic with the spin, but didn't finish the play.
He seems to have done the hard part there, spun himself into a really good position and wasn't able to finish.
Edwards hits the triple.
It's a big follow-up, isn't it, from Edwards, who's quietly went about his business in this game.
Liggins to Ali Hodzic. Throws it off the board twice to himself. Blocked by Maxwell. Give me that. They're away, Newcastle. Edwards all the way to the basket. He's fouled. He lays it in, and the bonus shot coming.
Big play there from Cortez Edwards. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been going to work, and you can see the contact there right on his head, but it didn't matter. Stayed focused and finished the play.
Well, he's already got a couple of triple-doubles in his BBL career, Cortez Edwards. He's not a million miles away from one here in the final. Here's Liggins. Driving, dumping it off to Bert Williams, who spent a lot of time on the bench in foul trouble in the first half. Shot clock getting low. Liggins for 3, misses everything. Newcastle Eagles on the first play lost one of their most influential players here in the second half, but they can take the lead in the game despite that. But it's deflected away.
Another turnover, and again, the pass wasn't made with much conviction.
Liggins, nice ball movement, out to Spencer for a long 2, just had his foot on the line, but knocked the shot down.
Good decision, an extra pass there from Ali Hodges and Spencer. That's a big shot.
Fletcher splitting his way through, somehow gets it to Maxwell for the hammer.
Goodness me. Great ability to dribble here. Lovely pass between the legs, and Evan Maxwell with a dunk finish.
A nutmeg there from Fletcher. He's been here long enough to know he's got to shout Megs after that, isn't he? Fletcher trying to find some room, driving hard off the glass. Rebound. Parker. Liggins pushing. Spencer. Again, he's got a toe on the line. And it's tipped in by Parker.
Another offensive rebound there. this is something that's been in the thorn in the Newcastle Eagles side. They really got to adjust to that in the second half.
Here's Defoe inside, under pressure off the mark. Put back in by Maxwell.
Maxwell's activity is boosting this Newcastle Eagles offense right now, and I think he's a player that could be big for him here in the second half.
Liggins is fouled on the floor.
Yeah, I definitely think this is an opportunity for Evan Maxwell to step up here. You know, you've got Gordon on the bench with 4 fouls. Maxwell will probably have to play out the rest of this quarter. Big opportunity right here. 2 big buckets in a row. Get your confidence going.
And Maxwell's been that guy who's been plagued with foul trouble throughout the playoffs, and he's sitting on 0 fouls at the moment. So, yeah, an opportunity, as you said, Mike, to really go after this one aggressively.
Oh, nice pass. And it's squeezed in eventually by Tawia.
That's a good finish because it was contested. Maxwell was looking to swat that one away.
Fletcher. Out to Maxwell for 3. Well, we're right behind that. It looked really good, didn't it? But it was the front of the net rather than the middle of the net that it hit.
Well, you can claim nothing but net. You just don't get the rewards or results.
Here's Williams. A little step away. He hits that shot.
Williams. And regardless of him coming in and out of the game, he's got to honour his shot.
Maxwell is able to save it for Newcastle. Stolen away by Fletcher. Maxwell to Sayers when his pass is deflected.
Another deflection from Dirk Williams. The concentration on defense from London Lions has been great so far, at times.
Sayers sits down. Pfluger into the game for him. Fletcher from the side. Down to Maxwell. For the spin. The hang time off the glass.
It's difficult, isn't it? He's 6'10", long wingspan, and that hang time just gives him that extra second to readjust his shooting arm.
Great hands from Edwards to deny that pass through, but Liggins still scores.
Game of margin, almost a turnover, but Liggins was able to recover and turn it into a 2.
Maxwell at the top of the key. Good timing on the rebound from Parker. Oh yeah, Parker running the baseline, jams it in.
It's me. Nice play there between the 4 and 5 man, and they're cutting Orlando. Parker gets a jam and takes himself to 23 points personal.
There's Defoe driving in. Tollier got a little piece of that, made that shot difficult. Tollier's down. I think he's all right, but Williams is going to shoot 3. Another offensive rebound. 18 of them for London. Liggins up top for 3. And the London lead is back into double figures.
That was huge, and it was 4 on 5 to the advantage of the Eagles, and London Lions still came up with the offensive rebound, and Andre Liggins hits the 3.
Credit to the Lions here. They're just sticking with every play. They're sending guys to the boards, and it's paying off for them.
Well, Newcastle have just not been able to keep London away from the offensive glass at any point in this game. They've just been crashing and crashing, and you can see Justin Robinson in conversation as well. They know this is an important time in the game, a real chance to put their foot on the accelerator here.
Yeah, huge moment in the game here. These are the moments that you want to pull away. You want to build some insurance. You know, give yourself get to more of that 15, 20 points. But you know, the way this game's been going, it could go either way. For the Newcastle Eagles, you know, they got to talk about chipping away, sticking with it, get that down to 8. You know, let's see if we can get that down to 4 or even before this quarter runs out.
Well, you think back to that semi-final first leg. Newcastle Eagles were on the ropes at the end of the third quarter, down, I think it was 15 or 16 points, with 8 or 9 minutes to go. They came all the way back in that one, ended up losing by 1, but went on to win the tie in the second leg. They could do with a similar sort of run here. It was Fletcher on that occasion who drove it. Will it be him again or someone else? And foul called on Chris Tawia. Ooh, smashed into Fluger trying to set the screen. They got to run around the screens. They got them there in the end. Here's Fletcher off the mark for 3.
Fletcher's having to try and shoot over Dirk Williams, who's a longer, taller defender and very athletic in that.
Oh, what a steal that is from Cortez Edwards. Going all the way to the basket, but he's blocked from behind by Liggins. Tawia on the trail, blocked by Maxwell.
Huge blocking. Eagles down the other end.
An offensive foul called on Defoe. Oh, it's all going on here. Look at this. Absolutely clubs it.
Perfect timing too.
Not in my house.
And that's the difference that in the second quarter, when Newcastle Eagles were on their run, they were getting stops and they were converting down the other end in transition. The transition offense still hasn't been there for them this quarter, and as a result, it's been tough to score the ball.
Parker driving hard. 25 now for Orlando Parker, plus 11 rebounds.
Speaking of a guy that's not struggling to score the ball, he's been absolutely superb. Shoot the ball very, very efficiently.
Edwards all the way to the basket.
Oh my God, did you see that in and out? Completely shifted the defender all the way to the rack. He is so athletic.
And you can see him looking to take over the game now as well. Someone needs to, and even Ramon Fletcher, by his standards, has been very quiet this quarter, and Cortez Edwards has been the one who's like, okay, this is my turn now, let's see how far I can get us in this game.
Yeah, and I think they need that. There's been so much focus on Fletcher, especially on the defensive end, that they need a second guy to step up here, and Cortez Edwards fits the bill for that.
Fletcher into Maxwell, driving hard, doesn't finish. There's Edwards again on the glass. Cortez Edwards with his 7th rebound of the game. He's 3 rebounds, 5 assists, short of a triple-double.
It's just great work on the boards there. And again, look, he's the smallest player. When you look, he's against Liggins, Dirk Williams, Orlando Parker, yet he's the one that comes up with the ball.
This is the second. Sayers keeps it in bounds though. Maxwell takes his time on the 3. There he is again, Edwards on the glass. Out to Fluger, resets for 3. Thrown forward to Dirk Williams, but a little too far in front.
You hate to see it. You know, you work so hard to get that rebound and then a cross-court pass out of bounds. Slow it down. Get into some offense.
back. Edwards now from behind the arc. All string for him, his third triple of the game.
Cortez Edwards stepped into that one as well. He wanted that shot, and I think he's wanting that responsibility to carry the load here.
Certainly is carrying the load. Liggins to reply. Too much on that. Fletcher is fouled. They're feeling pumped here, Newcastle, aren't they? You can sense it in them. They're still down 6, but they're feeling good about themselves.
You just got to keep it close. How many games have we said that on? You just got to keep it close. And you can remember, you've got a Justin Gordon on the bench there. If he's watching this and being inspired, you know, you don't know what you're going to get from him when he comes back on the court. He's got some time to make up for. You know, if you've got him active and feeling good, then again, he's someone that can turn a game on its head.
Well, the longer it stays closer, the longer they can leave him there for the stretch run. Liggins driving hard, cross court to Williams. Ware driving in. And there's a foul there on Maxwell.
That's when you've got to be focused and disciplined. Running out to Kevin Ware, who is having the struggle of his life shooting the basketball right now. You've got to stay true to the defense and just put a hand up. He's not a guy that you need to be running out on, trying to run off the line at the moment.
Couple of plays left in this third quarter. We're trying to make it a 6-point London lead. And not managing to do so. Luger down to Maxwell. Spinning baseline. There's Edwards again, offensive glass. And the dish to Maxwell, who I don't think was quite ready for it.
Well, Maxwell's going to be very grateful for Cortez Edwards to keep the ball alive after his initial miss, and he's got to be ready to catch and finish there.
Well, the Eagles players wanted a foul. I don't think Maxwell was the most vocal out of them, which might tell you something. Maxwell to Fletcher. Time ticking down. Just a bit too low for Fletcher to reach down, for Maxwell to reach down and get that.
Great pass there.
Liggins' shot is short. Good catch by the referee. We've reached the end of the third here. Just 10 minutes remain in the BBL season. It is the London Lions who have a 55-50 lead, and we will have the fourth quarter action coming up right after this break. Welcome back to Leicester. 10 minutes to decide a champion. Gordon back in the game on 4 fouls. Newcastle trail by 5. They start us off here in the 4th. Fletcher to Edwards. Gets it away. Will that count? Yes, it will. Basket good for Cortez Edwards.
That's a really good pass there from Ramon Fletcher. You see him passing the ball almost to the path for Edwards to curl into. And that's exactly what happened. Great finish there. Shane Walker, 6'10". Doesn't matter. Cortez Edwards shooting above him. Getting it to go.
Looking for point number 18. Cuts it to 2.
It's been the back court, Dan. Cortez Edwards and Ramon Fletcher, the only 2 players in double digits scoring for the Newcastle Eagles at the moment.
Walker for 3. Rebound pulled in by the Newcastle Eagles. Cortez Edwards now with a double-double. That was his 10th rebound. Maxwell. Oh, blocked by Shane Walker, and it's going to be a travelling violation.
It just didn't look like he knew what he wanted to do. He picked up his dribble, and as soon as you do that, you're in trouble. Easy block for Shane Walker there. Nice defensive play from 44.
Here's Parker. So efficient scoring today. Liggins drives in. I think that came off Ware last. It'll be a Newcastle ball.
It's a good stand from Buster Gordon as well. He made sure he was straight up and got there early.
A chance for Newcastle to level the game. Edwards, top of the key. We are level at 55.
Cortez Edwards has been that man. He's carried this team throughout the 3rd quarter, and his heroics continue.
Oh, what response have London got here? Seen the first 5 points go in against them. They have a charging foul against Dirk Williams, and that'll be his 4th.
Fletcher coming in and standing across there. Wow.
So very much with the momentum now.
Fletcher was there, he was waiting. Oh goodness, he took it too. Tough play for Ramon Fletcher. Took one right in the face and the body. And gets his team a stop.
Newcastle looking to regain the lead here. Fletcher driving in, trying to force it through to Gordon, deflected away and out of bounds. 5 on the shot clock. Into Maxwell. Puts it on the floor, driving hard, and he's going to get called for the charge. Parker taking it.
I feel like there's a lot of offensive fouls in this game.
Not only through this game, but throughout the whole playoff series, I feel like the refs have really made that a focus. But big fella driving to the basket here, you know, the ref has to reward that. If the big has his feet set and he's in the way, as long as he's outside that charge circle.
8 to play. Still, the scores are tied. Playoff title on the line. Parker trying to use his strength to get in, misses everything. Ali Hodzic can't keep it in play, and it will be a Newcastle ball.
And I like the play. I like throwing it down to Parker in the post there. But when the double comes, you gotta move the ball. The ball movement has been stagnant for the London Lions in this fourth.
Edwards out to Maxwell. Room for the three. It's a 2. It misses anyway. Here's Liggins. Going the opposite way. Where couldn't hang on to it.
It's got that feel of a pre-season or an early season game. Teams not on the same page, and the passes aren't as crisp, catches aren't as clean. Turnovers stacking up.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder how the absence of Justin Robinson is playing a part in all
Lobbed
that.
up to Maxwell! Newcastle in front.
Great pass from Cortez Edwards, and Maxwell's been trying to get his offense going here in this fourth, and that one he gets to go down with authority.
Parker. Knocked loose by Gordon. Parker gets it back and is able to score.
Randall Parker just persistent, just staying with it. He just wills it in. Take him to 27 points.
Edwards gets it to Fletcher. Fletcher down to Maxwell. Stolen away. Thought for a second Ali Hodzic might have lost that, but keeps possession. Ware throws it straight to Sayers. Here's Fletcher for 3! No! Edwards in there fighting for it. It is a Newcastle ball.
All because of Cortez Edwards' energy. Just being that guy on the offensive glass, keeping the ball alive, making things difficult for the defense to secure the rebound. And he's earned his team another possession here.
Just out off Dirk Williams. Sayers thought about it. Here's Sayers, loads of time and space, all good! Lewis Sayers with the triple!
Fantastic penetration from Cortez Edwards to pass the ball out to Lewis Sayers, who knocks it down.
Williams now. Williams all the way, and that goes in.
It's a big break from Dirk Williams there. Right in between the two defenders, and a really difficult finish. He was falling out of bounds, but gets it to go.
Fletcher to Gordon. Trying to go to work. Oh, he zipped it, but Maxwell couldn't hang on. Nice pass. Ali Hodzic underneath for 2.
Much needed basket for the London Lions there. Ali Hodzic missed a couple ones before that, but solid pass. Gathers himself and finishes at the rim.
Back to Fletcher. Having his shirt pulled there. He gets the shot away.
Good job from Ramon Fletcher to get the defense to commit that bump foul there. Gets him 2 shots at the free throw line.
Third foul on Ali Hodzic. $12 points now for Fletcher, 9 assists as well. Liggins back to Parker, big shot for 3 off the mark. Fletcher with the rebound. Foul called off the ball. It's on Dirk Williams for a push in Gordon's chest. Dirk Williams has fouled out of the game. Just there, banged into him.
That's a big blow for the London Lions. Dirk, obviously extremely versatile player. He's doing a great job on defense with deflections, getting in people's faces, and he's a scorer. He's another scorer on the floor, so big blow for the Lions.
Yeah, he's gone. He walked out of the gym, never mind off the court. Edwards is blocked by Parker, gets it back. Fletcher under pressure. Edwards again. Edwards misses the tip by Maxwell. Oh my goodness. Well, in the first half, London were grabbing all the offensive rebounds, but here, in the second half, Cortez Edwards is getting his hands on everything.
His Edwards' energy is just contagious too. Maxwell's watching his guard fight for every possession, and he got down there and got involved too, and recoups the offensive rebound.
Cortez Edwards has 5 offensive rebounds in the game. He's got 12 in total. He's 3 assists away from a triple-double.
Oh, what a performance he's had as well, both ends of the floor. He was that guy that someone needed to step up, and he was the one who stood up and was counted, and it's so productive for them the whole game, but the third quarter and fourth quarter in particular.
Well, Maxwell moves Newcastle 3 points in front. Here's Spencer. Fletcher with a reach in. Number 3 on him. Liggins from the side. Cross court to Parker to tie it. Back iron and into the grateful hands of Sayers.
Offense starting to dry up now for the London Lions, and looking for individuals to dig them up the hole.
Lobbed into Maxwell. Loses the dribble, but it comes all the way back to Edwards. Edwards spinning. Got to shoot. Gets it away. Rebound Spencer.
Intensity levels are high here. Players bobbling balls and intercepting passes.
And the pressure is high. Here's Liggins. Ties the game at 64.
DeAndre Liggins comes off that screen and contested by a 6'10 Maxwell, but it didn't matter. Liggins let it go and knocks it down.
Fletcher. Nice pass into Maxwell. Spinning back. Tough move. Gets the bounce.
Good composure there from Evan Maxwell. I thought he was going to go up a tad bit earlier, which would have been off balance, but he gained himself good composure and a strong finish.
Two and a half to play here in regulation. Liggins, whoa, zipped it way too fast. Ali Hodzic bounced off his head. Maxwell again to the fall away. Well, we have 2 minutes left here, unless we have 7. This one could easily go to overtime.
It's one of those games, Dan. It's so intense. No team really scoring major points.
Liggins, late in the shot clock, foul on the floor. Well, that is remarkably only the third foul, of the quarter on Newcastle, so it's an end-line ball. Fletcher's 4th, though. He cannot foul out. Oh, that's not a great pass, but Parker pulls it in. Dangakodo looking to go to work. Drives in hard, ties it up.
What a play from Jules Dangakodo there. Waved everyone off, put his head down, went up. Teardrop bucket.
Maxwell. Ooh, he's thrown it away. London have the ball. They've only got 4 players because Liggins hit the deck there. They're waiting for him to catch up. He just got over the halfway line there before the pass came to him. Ali Hodzic out to Spencer for 3. No, it's off the ring. Inside the final minute we had. Still tied at 66. What a ball game here in Leicester. Edwards to Gordon. Back to Edwards. 5 on the shot clock. Fouled. He will go to the line and he will shoot 2 free throws.
Wow, Cortez Edwards. That's the guy they wanted, the ball in the hands of, with the game on the line, and clear foul there, and Cortez Edwards did a good job of staying aggressive.
A 74% shooter, both on the season and across his BBL career. They obviously lost a few ticks off the clock, so they're just putting them back on there. 40.6. 2 massive 3 throws here for Cortez Edwards. First is good. Nervous energy everywhere, and that's just me and Ant. Never mind out on court.
Look, this isn't the beautiful, free-flowing offensive basketball that we've seen from these 2 clubs week in, week out, but what I will say is the intensity levels are up there with the heights that we've seen this year.
Well, this is the interesting decision here, because Vince has called a timeout with 40.6 seconds to go. Down 2, so you need a score to tie. If you advance the ball, the best case scenario is sort of 26, or the furthest you can get in the clock is 26 seconds, which would basically give Newcastle all of the shot clock back. If you don't, you obviously keep an extra 10 seconds for yourself, but they're still going to get the last shot back. Newcastle, London, in some ways want to go quick here, but if they don't score, that doesn't. The basket is more important than the clock in some ways.
I think so. I think you draw something up here now, and you're just looking to score the ball. Because remember, this isn't one of those games where, you know, we're going shot for shot. Every basket has been very difficult to muster up to get it to go through the net. So, 11 points London Lions are on it in this quarter, so they're really struggling. And Derek Williams, a big producer of the offense for them, will no longer feature in this game due to fouls.
The London Lions, who all season long have been the best 3-point shooting team in the league. They take more, they make more, they do it at a better clip. They have made just 6 of 28 today. A 3 gives them the lead, though. It is an advance the ball situation for Vince, though. So 14 on the shot clock. Jordan Spencer to inbound. London must score. It's into the hands of Liggins. Will it be him? He takes the shot. He's missed it. Maxwell with the rebound. The foul is on Ali Hodzic. And that's his 4th. I suppose the one upside on that is at least you're going to get the ball back straight away. He's going to go to the free throw line. Maxwell is going to shoot 2.
Who's 4 for 4 from the free throw line today.
71.4 on the season. Oh, he's missed the first. So London will have a chance to tie the game, whatever happens here. Newcastle aren't lining up, so it's going to be a rebound if he misses. Oh, he's missed them both!
It's a great foul from Ali Hodzic there.
London back in the same spot. They still need to score. Liggins has it. Liggins round the screen. He's picked the ball up. Gets it to Parker. Shot clock to 7. Dangakoto to the basket, misses. Parker put back, misses. Newcastle have the ball. Newcastle are going to win here. They've got a foul. They do foul. Newcastle are 2.7 seconds away from victory.
Wow, they crashed the boards and Orlando Parker had to follow. And you thought he was going to make it because he's made almost everything else today. And before you know it, Newcastle Eagles have secured the defensive rebound, and who better to get it into the hands of number 44, Ramon Fletcher.
Oh, he's missed! Newcastle have a foul to give, by the way. They have a foul to give. Fletcher misses! The ball is loose! It's going to be a heave to win it! No! Newcastle Eagles have won! The Newcastle Eagles have won the playoffs! Incredible scenes here in Leicester as Newcastle celebrate! What a victory! The Newcastle Eagles have done it! They were in a massive hole at the start of the game. They clambered all the way back. And they found just enough points to win.
It was that type of game too, Dan, that just ended on just pure hard work and will. Wasn't too many shots made in that fourth quarter. Free throws there included. But it was just a matter of who wanted it more, and Newcastle Eagles were the ones who did.
Well, they have won the league 7 times. They've won the trophy 7 times. They've won the cup 7 times. This is now their 7th playoff title. An incredible performance from the Newcastle Eagles. What a game. It wasn't the high-scoring, free-flowing, and in some ways, that probably was Newcastle's advantage, was to try and keep it down and find a way. And boy, did they find a way.
Well, you say that, Dan. Both of these teams are accustomed to scoring in the high 80s, and they both make shots and take a lot of shots and make a lot of shots, but maybe you're right. Maybe it was that pure grit and awkwardness of the game that just played into the Newcastle Eagles' favour, because they had more guys that have lived through that previously in previous years. Your Ramon Fletchers, your Darius Defoe's, Drew Laskers, they've been there, they've done it.
Well, they celebrated that one like it was their first, the Newcastle Eagles. An incredible win here. But London Lions will look back and feel they had some chances there. For large stretches of the game, they were the better team. They just couldn't finish it out.
Really struggled in that fourth quarter, only 11 points. Scored by a team full of firepower as well. And you look at the scores, Orlando Parker with 27 points. He was, by far an outlier there, an exception. And then 12 points for Liggins. But other than that, no one else hits double digits in terms of scoring.
Let's give a big round of applause, please. It is, of course, the London Lions. Please come on up and collect the trophies. Orlando
in
Parker,
every game.
Kevin
But
Ware,
in 2 of the finals, they fell a little bit short. Parker got them off to a sensational start. He ended up with 27 points and 12 rebounds. But there wasn't really much else after that. Liggins had 12, 6, and 8, but they were the only 2 guys in double figures.
Can you please come up as well, the coaching staff, led
And that was the problem, and I think because Orlando Parker started so strongly, 15 points for him in that first quarter, no one else really got hot or got in any type of rhythm. And it just leaked into the rest of the game for the London Lions. Troubles on offense.
Vince McCauley applauding his opponents,
congratulating
them on their victory. But it will be a disappointment for him and his team, no doubt about it. But the moment of celebration is about to really kick off here. They sure had fun after they won the cup. They're going to have even more here, the Newcastle Eagles. Well, they could easily have been beaten in the quarterfinals by Mike Tuck and his Sheffield Sharks. They could easily have lost to the Leicester Riders in the semi-finals. They could have lost here, but they didn't. They just kept on finding a way to win.
Exactly it, Dan. And they did it as a team today. The superstars that we've come to know in this club, you know, Ramon Fletcher, Justin Gordon, they put in shifts today, but it was other heroes that showed up today. You know, Evan Maxwell, but one in particular, Cortez Edwards was just absolutely phenomenal today.
Well, they said following Fab Flanoy would be a near impossible task. 3 trophies in 2 years, that's not a bad return, is it?
It's not at all, no, it's, yeah, he's doing a lot better than the coaches that followed Alex Ferguson, put it that way.
There you go. What a tremendous performance by his team. It's the presentation of the most valuable player award. It's got to be Cortez Edwards, surely.
This isn't even a difficult question. There's no if, buts, or maybes. Index of 41.
4 steals, the 7 assists, the 13 rebounds, the 22 points with an efficiency of 41. Number 6.
They enjoyed that, the Newcastle Eagles, didn't they? They were loving every single stat that was read out. And he will go up. Oh no, he's got the wrong one. He's got the wrong one. He went for the trophy. It's the other golden basketball on the table. But a really, really game for the ages, really. One of the great playoff final performances we've seen.
Well, he's lost focus there because the game's finished, but what he didn't do in the game was miss the ball for anything else. He was incredible. He just had a nose for the ball on both ends of the floor, and you think back to those offensive rebounds that he did and the deflections that he made as well, which created extra offense or extra possessions for his team, and that's the difference, Dan. It's a 2-point game, and a guy like that doing things like that is the difference between winning and losing.
It certainly is. Well, you play all season for this very moment, to end it with the moment of celebration. And they've gone up in threes. It's Fletcher, it's Defoe, it's Lasker. They're going to look it up, they're going to shine it up. Check that it's ready. Their name will be on it once again. And the 2021 BBL playoff champions are the Newcastle Eagles. Oh, they're building it up. Well, they are the champions once again. And the ticker tape starts to fly, and these are the moments you remember in all of your career.
Oh, it's the best, and it's something that no one can take away from you as well. And I think the longer I remove myself from the game, and you kind of look back and you appreciate that even a bit more. And the group that have put together this year as well, it wasn't easy for them. They lost 12 games in the regular season. They finished 4th, which by historic standards is way below par. But you're only as good as your last game, and this group of players have found a way to come together and find some sort of form in the playoffs. Again, we can't speak enough. They perhaps shouldn't be here. If it wasn't for that team chemistry that developed late in the season, they wouldn't be here because they would have got eliminated in the quarterfinals. But they found a way, and I think this will be one of those situations where this group of guys we're going to look back in 5+ years and think, man, we did that, and it was very special.
Well, Mr. 26 is going to need a new nickname, some new T-shirts.
He is indeed.
Well, Mansour's come ready. He's got his raincoat on. I think he knows what's coming.
He's done this enough times.
Well, they pose for the photos. They haven't popped the bottles yet. I thought they were about to. But a tremendous performance from the Newcastle Eagles. Let's get some reaction from down in the sidelines with Nat.
I think Kieran Achara has just absolutely nailed it by saying that is going to be one hell of a bus ride home. Remarkable performance from the Eagles. Given the manner of their win and what we saw there in the final minute of the game, where does this rank in terms of all-time playoff finals for you, in terms of excitement?
You know what? It was quite a slow game, and I think that just suited Newcastle Eagles. So it's definitely up there because the way it was won against a team, we talk about the David and Goliath type situation, but at the same time, the Eagles are winners. They just find a way to win. So for me, it's definitely up there as one of the most exciting finishes and results in BBL.
Sometimes it works that way, doesn't it? In many different sports. A not particularly compelling performance from either side, but yet, in terms of entertainment factor, one of the most gripping spectacles we've seen. Such a fine margin at the end there. What were the key things that it came down to, do you think, that gave the Eagles the edge?
You know what? For me, it was... Okay, Justin Robinson wasn't playing tonight. That really kind of slowed the kind of tempo down and kind of the identity of London. But defence, Newcastle Eagles knew when to turn the game around. They made the defensive stock down the stretch. Their big player, Cortez Edwards, stepped up and was an MVP performance. Did whatever it took to win that game tonight.
Cortez Edwards absolutely stepped up. He was our MVP, no question about it. And he's courtside now with Mike.
Cortez, massive double-double on your way to the MVP of the game. You just won the BBL playoff finals. How do you feel?
I feel amazing, man. We had great resilience. We just kept fighting. London's a great team, so we knew we had to stay together and just pull through.
Great resilience, especially from you in that second half. You were all over the place, grabbing offensive rebounds, steals, hitting shots. What got you there?
I felt like... Hold on. I felt like second quarter, I did everything well besides score baskets. I was rebounding. I had energy. I was trying to pressure Liggins as much as possible. So once third quarter came and second half, I just started to find my groove.
Yeah, and I think you guys really locked them up, especially in the fourth. Was defense a key factor for you guys?
Oh yeah, for sure. Without Justin, they're pure point guard. We just wanted to make it difficult for everybody else to make decisions and just shrink the floor and then close out well to their shooters.
And you had a big performance, but it wasn't done without your teammates. You had a lot of different guys step up. A word on them.
Ramon Fletcher does what he does. Evan Maxwell off the bench. Darius didn't have the best game, so we needed him to just come in with a spark. Rex and Lewis, they've been consistent all year, and we weathered the storm and we got the win.
Man, phenomenal performance. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Superb stuff from Cortez Edwards. Listen to this stat line: 22 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, a 41 efficiency rating. Antro, how complete a performance was this?
It's as complete as they come, Matt, and I think even more so exemplified in a low-scoring game. This is a 68-66 game, so all of those second-chance opportunities he made, all of those extra passes, all those rebounds he grabbed, that was the difference between winning and losing the ball game today.
Defensively, so strong once again. And we were talking, as we have done much of the season, you look at the leading rebounders in the league. They're all bigs, they're all forwards. Here we've got a guard in the mix, stepping up, and he demonstrated exactly why he's one of the very best in the business at that alone, let alone everything else he did today on court.
His timing's great, he's an athletic player, and his willingness as well. But there was another big play. He got a big steal on DeAndre Liggins, just jumped up in the air and snatched it. His athleticism is, it's exceptional.
Second and fourth quarter defense from the Eagles was exceptional, holding the lines to 11 points in both of those quarters. What was the key to that success?
So I knew they had that in them, and you saw it with the Leicester series. They got blown out in the first quarter, and then they had essentially 7 other quarters of great defensive basketball. They lost that identity at the start of this game, and they found it in the second and fourth, just by getting in the passing lanes and being disruptors.
What is it about this Eagles side that refuses to give up? We've seen it time and time again this season, Ant.
It was like they wanted to be down just to kick into fifth gear, and I think the rebounds were huge for them as well. They lost the battle of the boards in the first half, and they were securing the defensive rebounds, which then energised the offence.
Speaking of energising, you suspect this will be a pretty busy old night for the Newcastle Eagles. Look, the fizzes are already flowing there. Remember, this is their second trophy of the season. Coach Ian McLeod's third trophy since he's taken over as the Eagles head coach in just over 12 months. There's Drew Lasker enjoying a drink, and Coach getting soaked there by Evan Maxwell. Let's head on over now. Coach McLeod is courtside with Mike.
Joined here by Coach McLeod, who's absolutely drenched in fizz. Coach, how do you feel?
Wet. No, very happy. If you just said it's going to be 66-68, I'd probably said, okay, what's going to happen in the fourth quarter? I thought our defence was incredible after the first, 11 points in the second. I don't know many numbers from that. It feels like we did a great job defending the three. I mean, in relation, London shoot a hell of a lot of threes. It feels like we did a good job. I haven't seen the stats on it. But yeah, just really, really happy right now.
And a word on Cortez Edwards. I mean, he stepped up throughout the second, and the second half was his.
It was, yeah, and there's nothing he can't do. We know this. He's not even sweating. He's an incredible athlete, and what he does for the team. If they take away Fletch as far as ball handling goes and getting downhill, that's why we brought him in, to be that second side guy, second side pick and roll and things like that. And he's done an incredible job. And I think he had 13 rebounds as well for a guy who's 6 foot, probably an asterisk on 6 foot, don't mind.
And speaking of asterisks, we spoke about a small asterisk before the game.
You spoke about a small asterisk.
I guess this puts the doubters to rest.
3 of 3 in finals in the most difficult year that most of us will ever remember. That's success. What else is success for us? Temba Yobantu playing 27 minutes in the game at Bristol and not looking out of place when he came to us at 10 years old. There's lots of different measurements of success. Externally, it looks like trophies, and we got 2 of those. So, yeah, successful year.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
No question that it's been a successful year for this Eagles side. And, of course, we've got to pay some lip service to the veterans on this side. Ramon Fletcher we're seeing now, who had a quiet final by his high standards, but it was instrumental in getting them here in the first place. Drew Lasker as well, Darius DeVoe. Talk about the importance of these veterans that underpins this winning culture, Kieran.
Like I said, they're culture carriers. They possess that winning mentality, and they pass it on to their younger teammates. But Ramon Fletcher, we say he was quiet today. He had the willingness to give the ball up. He knew that Liggins was trying to expose that they were double teaming him. He was happy enough because he believed in his team, and I think that takes a lot from a leader to do that.
All right, the Eagles get the win. Commiserations to the London Lions, but their head coach, Vince McCauley, graciously taking time to talk to us now.
Coach, commiserations on the loss. Can I get your initial reaction?
Well, as you would expect in such a close game, really, really disappointed. We didn't expect to get to this final without Justin and have Dirk. I don't know how many minutes he played. But I think what you saw out there, and I just heard the words of Kieran Ochara around Ramon Fletcher, I think you saw the true MVP of our league. Because, no, he didn't have to score points. He didn't have to pass the ball behind his back. He just had to do what needed to be done. And I'm not sure how many people noticed at the end there that he intentionally missed those 2 free throws. The guy's an amazing, amazing player and a true winner. And at the end of the day, that's who we lost to.
And it came down to those 2 free throws in the end. But throughout the game, where was the game won and lost?
The game was won and lost because we just couldn't score enough. I mean, if you look at the score there, we kept them to 68 points. I mean, that's normal. But for us, we scored the ball, and we couldn't score the ball. We started getting guys hesitating. But I think, the flow was lost when those quick early fouls happened to Dirk. And then him going in back in there and picking up some silly fouls, that doesn't help us. But, for us, it's a learning process, and we have to move on from there.
And a word on your guys. You had a few guys step up tonight. One in particular, Orlando Parker. How did you rate his performance?
Oh, terrific. I mean, and we knew that he was the guy that was going to get off today without Justin on the floor, and sure enough, he did. And that matchup caused them all kinds of problems. He stepped up and did the right thing. But, all my guys, for what has been an unbelievably tough season for everyone and for us, I just want to thank them. I'm so proud of the effort they gave from game 1 to the last game of the season. We couldn't quite get over the hump, but, hey, I'm very proud of all my players.
Coach, commiserations. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
We used the phrase fine margins a little bit earlier on. Of course, they were affected significantly. There's no other way of looking at that ahead of the cup final. And this game went absolutely close to the wire. So in the end, and they've ended up with 1 trophy in a season where they were hoping to win it all. COVID taking them out of their European campaign as well. So there'll be disappointment, but there's a lot of positives to be taken for the Lions from the season, isn't there?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it just reconfirms as well that you can't just put, regardless of the size of your budget, you can't just put a collection of talented athletes together and assume you're going to win because you've got the best and the biggest budget. It doesn't work like that. And this season has showed that. Yes, Vince McCauley, re-emphasised the difficulties of this year. It was difficult for everyone. This was an anomaly this season, different as any historic previous. So, with that in mind, but now they've still got that reputation, and they've got a Vince McCauley now that is going to be absolutely determined to respond to critics next season.
Yes, and hit back exactly. And on that note, how difficult it's been for every team in the BBL this season. The most unusual and challenging of circumstances, Kieran. Put into context this extraordinary double win for Newcastle, because it's been an absolutely brilliant year for them.
It's breathtaking. Breathtaking. We did a piece on Newcastle earlier on in the season about their ways and how they win and the winning mentality. To find a way to get through these situations, being so inconsistent during the championship run, to then find form when they needed to and do it collectively, it's a real great feat. And I thank Paul Blake, Sam Blake. The job that they're doing in Newcastle has just been phenomenal.
They've been absolutely brilliant. Congratulations to the Newcastle Eagles, wrapping up an absolutely fantastic season. Before we go, though, because we've seen so many great games here on Sky Sports this season, lots of good memories forged over the last 5 months, we decided to put together our favourite of those moments. Check them out. It's a brand new era of British basketball here on Sky.
It's tantamount to all of us in the BBL to drive the BBL further.
People are going to be watching. It's put on a show.
Locked into Gordon! Oh! What a jump!
Where the camera's at?
We live on Sky, baby.
We live, baby. Y'all here?
I think I got to copyright my Sky Sports, baby.
Sky Sports, baby. Mike Tuck.
Hey, NBA, going to work.
Players are getting mic'd up. They're always stepping up big time.
Let's go! Let's go, brothers. Let's go. Oh, that is beautiful from Gino Crandall.
Damn, I'm good.
He's a magician.
See who's in the game. See who's in the game.
Coach McLeod, Matthew Bryan-Manning, Drew Lasker, Gino Crandall, Rob Paternostra, Paul James, Ashley Hamilton.
I loved being in the BBL, loved all those cities I lived in.
Fletcher again from behind the arc. Ramon Fletcher!
Hey fans, it's been tough for the Hobby Night. Oh, sorry about that.
Thank you. Let me do that again.
Come on, get out of here.
Dunk time. Hey!
You came in from that side, and you jumped out into the guy.
What do you mean? It was contact.
Thank you guys.
Boy, that's a tough one. Thank you.
Hey, I got news for you. I'm mic'd up. Okay. I'm gonna watch the replay right now, Sky. I didn't reach. Hey! Hey, man. You heavy, boy.
16 points is nothing to these guys. Keep this energy, keep the composure. Unbelievable. This is women's basketball. Let's go!
Alley-oop! Oh! Jammed in by Hensley!
There's only one word. You know what that word is. It's disgusting. It was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Everything he does is disgusting.
Gino diving on the floor. I think he's forgotten the rules.
Breon, congratulations on a terrific individual performance and a fine team performance.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Crandall to Johnson to win it! Banks it! Corey Johnson for three!
Go pass.
We're motivated, we're confident, and we're just trying to chase Leicester right now.
Thanks.
And possession arrow against. And eBay! Oh my goodness!
I'm Drew Lasker.
12 points behind, 3 games in hand, still have Leicester to play. Is the title race still open, Coach?
Well, I don't think I've heard anybody singing. Nope, nobody's singing yet.
Look. Hey.
I gotta go with London just because I can't see a scenario with them losing because they can't lose today.
What about you, Kieran?
It's definitely Glasgow Rocks. No.
Ricky McGill running. Ricky McGill for three. Ricky McGill on the button. Liggins for three. Knocks it down. Oh my goodness, what a big shot.
Thank you for all of us.
This is BBL basketball.
So many fantastic memories we picked up over the last 5 months. I'm just going to be hearing Kieran Achara saying disgusting in my ear all the time. What was your favourite, most enduring memory of the season, Kieran?
I'm going to have to say it. Like, it's a collective British basketball is back on Sky Sports. I could not ask for more, and I'm just so proud of everybody. Just happy to be here.
And you look like you enjoyed yourself as well this season. What are the memories you're going to take away from this year?
It's been fun. I'm going to perch up on the fence with my man Kieran Achara here, and I sat there on a Friday night, and I just felt so blessed and so privileged to be watching our British game, and even more so with the Buzz Production 16 team and the Sky Sports team. There was a shot right here that the Leicester Riders won. Corey Johnson hit the game winner. I remember just standing there like a 15-year-old kid thinking this game is amazing. So that would be my top one.
Well said. It's been a privilege to be up close with the action. It's been a privilege to work with the both of you, with Mike Tuck, Dan Routledge, of course, everybody involved in the production behind the cameras as well. Thanks to the BBL and the WBBL as well for all their support. And most importantly of all, the players who get it done on the court week in, week out. We've absolutely enjoyed the ride, and we'll do it again. We'll see you back in the autumn. Hope you've enjoyed. Bye for now.
Good job, good job, good job, good job, good job. Oh, no.
Here's Sayers, loads of time and space, all good. Newcastle Eagles have won! The Newcastle Eagles have won the playoffs! Incredible scenes here in Leicester!